Hey, this is John from Alloy 211. Today's video is about my Bushmaster AR-15. And if you're a gun person, which you probably are since you're watching this video, not that I want to surmise what you may be thinking or who you are, but there's a good chance if you watch videos that I make, you may be a gun person. You probably, or maybe asking yourself why I would make a video about the most common semi-automatic rifle in America today. And it's a twofold reason. One reason being I'm planning on shooting this rifle in an up-and-coming video, so I thought I'd do a little getting to know you with the rifle itself, and also because it's a ban era rifle. And as a ban era rifle, it's got features or a lack of features that you don't see today on AR-15s. Now during the ban, you weren't allowed to have a bayonet lug, which is a little ridiculous in my opinion because, you know, I'm sure a bayonet lug really adds a lot of danger to a firearm capable of shooting out to 800 yards. You know, that extra 8 inches of steel you could attach to that thing, oof, it's dangerous. Also, it has a muzzle brake opposed to a flash suppressor. So that's something that's different. That's a, as they call it, mini Y-comp muzzle brake. It really works quite well. I enjoy it. I enjoy shooting with it, not to say that it's really that much different than with a flash suppressor. Also, originally, it had a fixed stock. Now I've changed that out since the end of the ban with a telescoping stock because it really does make the rifle a lot more compact. But other than that, and I've added like a single point sling, a small bit of Picatinny rail. Otherwise, I kept it pretty simple. I like the KISS principle for firearms, keep it simple, stupid, the less things to break. There's some internal parts I changed for reliability, but other than that, it is a fine firearm. And I've never had reliability problems with this rifle. I mean, I did change the parts out, but that was just, it wasn't because I had a problem. It's just preventative maintenance, let's say. But other than that, it's a standard AR-15, attached carry handle, you know, and your forward assist. But like I said, you don't see those features, or you see bayonet lugs on rifles now, which, I mean, I guess that's a big deal to some people. I don't really see why, but hey, that's, you know, this is your rifle, you do what you want. But anyway, another point about this rifle being a ban era rifle is where it was made and what company it was made under, because not all Bushmasters are the same. And I would say this Bushmaster is a higher quality Bushmaster than you could buy today. More than likely. I mean, I really haven't heard that much bad about Bushmaster recently, but I haven't heard anything really good about him. Nothing stellar. Anyway, take a look here at the receiver of the rifle. You can see that it is made in Windham, Maine. And when this rifle was made, the company is still being run out of Windham, Maine, and by the original founder, a gentleman named Richard Dyke, who had started it in 1976. But he sold out in the early 2000s to Cerebus Capital, who then bought up a bunch of other firearms businesses such as Remington, Marlin, H&R, Para Ordnance, and Tapco. And they brought all these companies together under the umbrella of Freedom Group. Now, they actually brought the production of the Bushmasters away from Windham, Maine, the original factory, to where they produced the Remington rifles. So they closed down the factory in Windham, Maine. And once the no-compete contract or clause and Richard Dyke's contract was up, he actually went back in and bought the original Bushmaster company back up in Windham, Maine, and opened it back up, creating Windham Weaponry. So, if you buy a modern Windham Weaponry AR-15, it's actually made the same company that Bushmaster used to be made in. One of the ways to identify an older Bushmaster or this era of Bushmaster is with this logo, because they switched from the bullpup style logo to this logo with the AR-15 in it. Now, you know, as probably a lot of people that are watching this video know, once Cerebus Capital brought, say, Remington, Bushmaster, and all these other companies under the umbrella of Freedom Group, it seems that they had a real decline in quality. And I don't really want to talk too badly about it because I've not, or too badly about the companies, because I've not shot a lot of their firearms post-acquisition and post-Freedom Group. but I've read a lot of reviews about them that were poor. The R-51, especially the Remington 700, seems to have gone down in quality. The 870 seems to have gone down in quality. Marlin's whole line of products, they've been rocky kind of anyway, but they seem to go down and decline. I don't believe Para Ordnance is even still in production. The only company that I can say seems to have done well is Tapco. I have a couple Tapco products I really like. Actually, the single point sling is a Tapco product. I have a G2 Tapco trigger in my RPK that I really like, and I also use Tapco magazines in my RPK, which I really like. But another feature of this rifle that I kind of wanted to go over in this video has to do with the shooting video, and that is, let me kind of adjust this, zoom back out. I'm going to go ahead and put a grip pod on this rifle really quickly. Now, I don't actually care for the grip pod all that much because I think it's too big. And I really prefer a smaller front hand grip. I mean, from shooting prone, this grip pod is great. It puts the rifle at the exact right height to shoot prone. But I don't really care for it to have on the rifle all the time because it's just too big. I actually normally have a grip on a front handle that's an MP5 style. And I maybe would even like one of those other ones that kind of you know, mounts like this, and it's a small hump or bump. But those are expensive, and I think I paid like maybe $8 for that. That's decent. And I was given this grip pod, which was very nice of the person who gave it to me. What I wanted to show here, and the reason why I put the grip pod on, is so I can show this muzzle brake. Now, oop, that was excellent. I have shot thousands of rounds out of this rifle, and I really enjoy shooting it. And anybody who shot it seems to have really enjoyed shooting it. But if you're standing beside the rifle, it is not enjoyable. And you get hit with a lot of muzzle blast, which, you know, if you look at the way this muzzle brake, which I've added these cartridges to just kind of better illustrate the angle at which the gases and the blast come out. You know, they do a great job of directing it back and away from the center line of the muzzle. So if you're back here shooting the rifle, it just pushes the rifle nicely back into your shoulder and pushes all the blast out to your side. So you don't, you know, it's going like that. So you don't actually get hit with it. But the people standing beside you, it sucks. And they do not enjoy it. I've had a lot of people complain about that. Like, oh, I really like shooting it, but when you're standing beside it, it really thumps you. And I've even had to go down to where one of the places where we shoot, there's a deck, and they can go down and stand on the ground beside the deck. And just to be nice to other people, I go stand down there just so they didn't get hit by the blast. You know, because on a standard, you know, flash suppressor, it all comes out and kind of does that as it comes out. Like that. Whereas this, you know, it's all going back into the side, which again is great for the shooter. And it does a great job, not to say that you need to mitigate recoil on a 223, but it really helps to even lessen the recoil even more. And the ports on the top really do a good job of keeping the muzzle down. If you're doing rapid fire with this gun, it is great. It stays right on target. You can just boom, 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 and the muzzle barely moves at all. But I mean, it's a 223, so that doesn't happen much anyway. Anyway, in the up and coming video, I'm going to try to maybe demonstrate why you wouldn't want to put your hands beside this. Not that that really needs to be demonstrated, I guess. But I thought it might be interesting to kind of see what would happen if you, say, did have a hand or, say, a head beside that. And what would happen to that object. So, you know, hopefully you found this video interesting or informative, if nothing else. And if you did, hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. So, thanks. And have a good day. Oh, if you're watching this video on Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving.